So how do you create an office of the CEO? Here at Cedar, we have a 3-phase approach, and I'm going to get into each of the different phases. So phase 1 is assess, phase 2 is design, and phase 3 is build. So in phase 1, which is assess, you're going to want to understand the CEO, the senior leadership team, and also the company. We're going to want to understand what are the different needs and profiles of these different stakeholders, essentially. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to evaluate the CEO. We're going to use an assessment. We're going to create a profile around the CEO. So maybe they have spikes around strengths. Maybe they have areas of focus or areas that draw away energy and they want to do. Maybe there are specific EQ areas for improvement. Maybe there's specific skill sets around specialized knowledge that the CEO doesn't have. Whatever it might be, we want to build the profile of what the CEO is really good at and what the CEO needs as a complement. Second, we're going to want to look at the executive team, and we're going to want to do a similar assessment to the CEO, but maybe more on the light side. So we're going to want to understand what is the profile and characteristics of each person on the ELT. We're going to want to build a sense of what are their spikes again, and also what do they need as a complement. We're also going to want to study them in their natural habitat. So we're going to want to see what does a typical ELT meeting look like if there is dysfunction, and identify what that dysfunction might be. And finally, we're going to want to look at the company. And so we're going to want to see, is there a resource gap? Is there a capability gap within the organization? Is there a specific type of transformational initiative or growth program that the company is trying to achieve? We're going to look at the company on a 360 basis and understand, again, what does this company need at this moment in order to unlock more growth or get them to the next phase in their life cycle. So again, that's the assessment phase. We're going to, again, look at the CEO, the senior leadership team, and also the entire company to understand what they need and to create a profile around specific stakeholders. So the second phase is around designing the office of the CEO. So essentially, we're going to create a blueprint for this office of the CEO. And in this blueprint, we're going to have people, process, and technologies. And so on the people side, we're going to want to define what types of resources are going to go into the office of the CEO. What types of roles and responsibilities do they have? What is the interaction model? On the process side, how do they work together? What processes and procedures do they follow? What is the way that they interact with tools? And that brings us to this last component around the design phase, which is what tools are needed. So this could be a knowledge base. This could be calendar management tools. This could be internal communication tools, essentially. So again, in this phase, we're going to design the people, process, and technology that goes into the office of the CEO. And then finally, in the last phase, which is the build phase, we're going to take the blueprint and we're going to implement it. And so on the people side, we're going to create a hiring plan around the resources that we have identified in the design phase, and we're going to execute that. We're going to find the resources, we're going to onboard them, and we're going to get them up to speed and placed in the office of the CEO. We're obviously going to bring those processes and procedures to life. We're going to make sure that the resources are following the right processes and procedures. We're going to make tweaks if need be, and we're going to make sure that things are humming along smoothly. And then finally, we're going to make sure that we configure the tools in a way that makes sense for the team. And so introducing the tools one by one, making sure that they are fully functional and working, and then cascading that to the rest of the organization, telling them about the office of the CEO that we just built and launching it internally with the sponsorship, of course, of the CEO. So there you have it. Those are the 3 different phases of the build out of the office of the CEO. We're going to start with an assessment, we're going to move to design, and then finally we're going to build out the office of the CEO. And then of course we're going to move on to the sustain phase, where the office of the CEO is maintaining the office of the CEO roadmap so that they can develop better processes, bring on new resources, better configured tools for their needs, and continually create value for the CEO, the senior leadership team, and also the company. So thanks for watching today. Like and subscribe.